Hey, I'm Matt Jobin with Reach Your Summit. The 10 Essentials are a list of 10 critical items that you'll want to carry with you on any of your adventures, whether that's hiking, backpacking, kayaking, or anything else. The list was designed to allow you to positively react to an accident or an emergency, or also allow you to spend the night or even more out until rescue came if you found yourself in that type of situation. Though the list was created in the 1930s, it's still very relevant to today. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 10 essentials and beyond, because there are a few other items that I like to carry with me no matter what type of trip I'm taking. Now, the first item is navigation and knowing how to use it. Always carry a recent topographic map of the area that you're looking to travel through, and maybe also a map that highlights the specific trails that you're looking to hike. Along with those maps, also bring a compass that allows you to set declination. If you don't know how to read map and compass, it's great to learn from an outdoor school, a professional, or even if you're coming out with me on one of my backpacking trips. Learning how to use these two, they will never steer you in the wrong direction. They don't rely on batteries, and they also help save on weight. Now, you can also bring a GPS with you. You can use the various apps out there for smartphones, and you can also use an activity watch if you have one that has a barometric altimeter. All of those can relay information to you, but it's always good to go with your map and compass first and use those as a second backup to double check your bearings. Now, some maps might be waterproof and tearproof, but for those that you choose to print at home or that are not waterproof, I just like to stick them right in a Ziploc bag, and it helps me protect those from the elements. Now, another item I like to bring with my map and compass is a whistle. Now, this could be on your sternum strap of your pack or in your pocket, but it will allow you to signal for help if you need to, or to also signal if you get separated from your group. Next on the list, sun protection. Now, whether we're in the backcountry or an alpine environment, we need to protect our eyes. And that's where sunglasses come into play. If we're on the trail, I'll wear a pair of glasses just like these that are protecting me from UVA and UVB rays. And they also allow me clarity when I'm out on the trail to be able to focus on more important things. With a pair of sunglasses, you want to make sure that they're dark enough where you can't be seen through the lens. In an alpine area, you want a pair of glacier glasses, and they only should allow 5 to 10% of light transmission. Now, for in the backcountry or on the trail, your sunglasses should block 95 to 100% of ultraviolet light. And don't be fooled by the clouds. Ultraviolet rays can still penetrate through them and cause damage to your eyes. Now, along with the sunglasses, I'll also wear a brimmed hat. A brimmed hat helps give me extra protection from light that might get through, but it will also collect sweat so it's not dripping down when I'm hiking. I also use this with another item that I'll use in very humid and warm summer conditions when it's really buggy. And that item is a head net. With a head net, I'll just drape it right over my brimmed hat. I'll cinch it down. Now, I may not win any fashion awards wearing this out on the trail, but it will give me a sense of sanity, allow me to be able to focus on my maps, be able to focus on the trail, and focus on the enjoyment of my trip overall, rather than constantly stopping the swat bugs out of my eyes. Sunscreen and lip protection. Your sunscreen should be at least an SPF of 15, and it'll help block UVA and UVB rays. Look for something that has zinc oxide or titanium dioxide in it, and reapply it as frequently as needed. With your lip balm, same thing. and you can reapply it to your lips as often as needed. Reapply it especially after eating and drinking. You can also use this to start fires as an accelerant. You can use it to help undo stuck zippers. There's multiple purposes for this, but most importantly, to protect your lips. Next, insulation. Now this of course will be customized depending on the area that you're traveling in or the time of year. I'll bring a down puffy like this, relatively lightweight, gives me crucial warmth, and it packs down very small. An extra pair of socks, whether you have a creek crossing or again you're spending the night out, you want to dry your feet, put on something nice and warm. A pair of gloves, an extra hat. You can bring a balaclava with you, a bandana, or a piece of buff headwear. This has over 100 uses. And with all of those items, you don't want anything to be cotton. Polyester, merino wool, silk, down, any of those are going to keep you warm, and they'll help retain heat if they were to get wet in some way. To protect me from those elements, I'll also bring a rain shell. This will give me water resistance, wind resistance. If you go with a thicker shell like a Gore-Tex, that'll give you better water protection and also wind protection. But the main thing is protecting all of that other stuff from the elements if you're stuck out there. Depending on the area that you're traveling through, you may also want to consider adding in a pair of rain pants. Next is illumination. Now it can be a flashlight that you carry or a headlamp. Now as I film this, it's the middle of October. Daylight hours are dwindling, and as it gets closer to the colder months, we're going to have even less daylight. There are also times where you may want to catch a sunrise or catch a sunset, so it's always great to have some form of light to help you illuminate the way back to your vehicle or to look around in case you were stuck in a bad situation. Now with your headlamp or your flashlight, a lot of these are going to run on rechargeable batteries, alkaline batteries, or lithium batteries. Now if you have an option of choosing one of those three, I would go with a lithium battery. Lithium batteries work very well, even down at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. They lose their charge a little slower than an alkaline battery will. They have less weight, but they do cost a little bit more, and they can put out a lot more power than an alkaline battery. So with that being said, make sure that whatever headlamp or flashlight you're using, make sure that it's compatible with a lithium battery so it doesn't cause it to short out. Next is a first aid kit. Always know what's in your first aid kit and know how to use every item that you carry. Now consider the type of trip that you're doing, the duration that you're planning on being out, your group size, and use that to customize what you would bring with you. Now first aid kits can give a false sense of security, so make sure that you have everything in here that will allow you to address an accident if it were to happen, but the whole point of this is to not have to use it at all. So do your best to try not to. Next is fire. If you get caught in a bad situation and you need extra warmth, you can always start a fire. You can also use a fire to send a signal out for distress and wait until rescue comes. Now, I'll carry with me a flint and steel, and what this will do is it allows me 3,000 strikes just by running the steel plate along this ferro rod, just like this. I'll also bring a book of matches, and if they're not waterproof, you can just stick them in a Ziploc bag just like this. If you're in higher elevations and you don't have any trees around to be able to start a fire, any wood, then you might want to consider bringing a stove if you're in high alpine environments as an extra heat source. Next is your repair kit and tools. With the repair kit, I'll bring things such as duct tape. You can also bring tenacious tape. You can bring thread, needles. I'll also bring super glue with me. And then make sure that no matter what multi-tool you have, make sure it has a knife blade on it. This is all that I've ever really needed while out on the trail. I don't need anything really big. I'm not looking to hunt for game or anything while I'm out. I'm just looking for small tools that will help me get through a situation if I needed to. So this one in particular will have a knife blade, scissors, a file, screwdriver, a pair of tweezers, and a couple of other items. All right, up next is food. Now this is going to be based on every individual. It's definitely a personal matter of preference, but I like to bring a lot of snacks with me. I'll snack every couple of hours, and I'll focus on 35% fat, the rest protein and carbs. That way I'm getting enough calories in my body to sustain me through, a couple of hours of hiking or a full day of hiking. Next is water. I'll carry at least 2 to 3 liters of water for a full day trip. For a shorter trip, I might carry a little bit less. Depending on where I am, I'll also bring a water filter or a way to purify the water. Now, if the conditions are right, I might carry a little less, just because I know with my maps and other information that I might get, that there are valid resources along the way where I can refill. It allows me to have my pack weigh less, and it makes it a little more comfortable. And by having one of these other methods with me along with my water bottles, I can be fully confident that I can have safer water to drink if I found myself running low with what I had already intended on bringing. Now, the last of the 10 essentials is an emergency shelter. This is a reflective emergency bivvy that can be reused, and I can use it to wrap around myself if I find myself in a bad situation where I need extra warmth, but I can also tie it off or drape it off with some paracord from a tree or a rock or some type of anchor to give me protection from the elements if I need to. Now, along with this, you may also want to consider where you're traveling in. You may want to bring a foam pad or some type of sleeping pad or something to lift you off of the ground and give you protection from the cold. You may also want to consider a small bivvy or a sleeping bag or extra clothing as well. Now, beyond the 10 essentials and the other few items that I showed you throughout this video, there are a couple of other things that I like to carry with me all the time. First one, insect repellent. This will go along with my head net and my hat to give me important insect repellency and allow me to focus more enjoyably on my trip and where I'm headed to next. Another item is going to be trail gaiters. I'll wear these year round, especially now in the fall. You have lots of leaves on the ground, lots of pine needles on the ground, and this will allow me to be more efficient with my pace and my hiking, cover more mileage, and not have to stop as frequently to pull pine needles, stones, or leaves out of my shoes. Trekking poles. This is another item that I like to have with me. Once I started using trekking poles, I've never gone back, even for day hikes. They help me carry all of those 10 essentials and anything else I might be carrying at the time more comfortably, gives me more stability and control, and also a little bit of leverage if I'm making steep descents. And it also takes some of the stress off of my knees and my body. And in an emergency situation, I can also use these to prop up that emergency bivvy that I showed you to give me some type of shelter. And the final item that I like to carry with me is hand sanitizer. Whether you're stopping to go to the bathroom off trail or you pick something up before you eat your snacks, you don't want to end up getting an upset stomach later on or something else. So having hand sanitizer with you will allow you to clean your hands somewhat effectively while you're out, and you can enjoy your trip a lot longer. So those are the 10 essentials and beyond that I'll carry with me on any trip I'm on. If you have any questions on any of these or anything else, please feel free to comment down below or get in touch with me at the link provided in the video description. Thanks for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate the support. I look forward to sharing more videos with you. Have a great adventure out there.